At 18 years old, I found myself in a very abusive relationship. During that relationship, a longtime friend, male friend that I had had, fell into a depression, and he asked if I would come just to console him and talk with him for a while. And I ended up putting myself in a bad situation. Though he wouldn't go to his mom's house to talk to me or a restaurant, he asked me to go to his apartment and just let him pour his heart out. And he had said, he confessed later, he had planned on raping me during that visit, and he did. I was engaged to another person, and eventually I found out that I was pregnant, and I was between 3 and 4 months. And my fiance said there was no way he was going to raise somebody else's child. So he knew of an abortionist in the nation's capital, and he drove me there. He'd already paid for everything, and he dropped me off. And his parting words were, "Go do what you're supposed to do, and then I'll take you to the mall and buy you 2 beautiful new dresses," which it turned my stomach even at that moment. And I walked inside. Anybody that has been inside an abortion clinic can tell you how grim and just terrifying it is, and you're just a number, you're just a matter of dollars that it costs. And so once I had sat down, I waited for my name to be called, and then I went through the surgical abortion. There was no anesthesia, no killers, and when I came out of there, I've always said that I felt like I walked out like a zombie. There was no life left in me. I didn't care to even live anymore. Within a year, the relationship between my fiance and I became more abusive than ever. And I ended up at 19 sitting on the edge of my bed, and I was already on sedatives because I was so nervous after the abortion. And I sat there and asked the Lord's forgiveness and took one pill after the other until I just floated down. I was then found, put in an ambulance. On the way to the hospital, I was unconscious, but I remember screaming out for God, though all the attendants said that I couldn't have because I was unconscious, but I was asking Him to allow me to live, and that I would give my life to Him. So fast forward so many years, I walked through life with this deep, dark shame and secret that I had been a victim of abortion, not by choice, but by coercion. And yet I still blamed myself tremendously. I still felt I could have run away if only I had have. And a year later, I couldn't take it anymore. And that's when I tried the attempted suicide. After that, I kind of immersed myself in life, and we always hear that there's this downward spiral, and there was a downward spiral in my life. I still loved the Lord, but I didn't attend church anymore, and I just lived for friends and for relationships. And years went by. I married a different person and became very involved with our church, and very much rededicated my life to the Lord. But still there was this part inside me that every time that I would pray or ask forgiveness of different things, it was like, but I knew the Lord could not forgive that one thing, taking the life of the gift that He had given to me. Time went on, different things happened. I had other children, and I do remember with my next baby, I remember the ultrasound, and I remember seeing, and it had to be probably no more than 7 to 8 weeks into my pregnancy, and I saw a little baby, and I saw a heart beating. And whereas I was filled with joy for that baby, I was also just devastated at knowing what had really happened back when I was 18. SaveOne is a program that I turn to. And in SaveOne, it walks you through the entire experience from what you feel. And that's what got me through. But most importantly, there are chapters where we get to say, who is this child? And really focus on that little baby that you lost. I want to say that without going through a recovery group, SaveOne, I don't know where I would be. The Lord has so redeemed, forgiven, and brought new life into me through recovery, through SaveOne. And I even remember the day that I had 5 children already and heard that there was a single mom on the other side of the country in an unplanned pregnancy. She had a 1-year-old and she was 5.5 months pregnant and felt her only option was abortion. And I reached out and was able to adopt that baby, received him, flew across the country and got him at 2 days old. And one thing that I remember that's so poignant to the program SaveOne, but also to my healing, is when I brought him home. Like every parent, you want to see the 10 toes and the 10 fingers and just your little baby. And I'd not seen him because I'd gone from picking him up from the birth mother to the plane to fly back across country. And I remember taking his little long sleeve onesie off and looking at him and saying, verbally saying, he is perfect. And he almost wasn't. And at that moment, I heard in my spirit, the Holy Spirit say, the first time you asked forgiveness, I forgave you. So I'm just so thankful that we have tools to help, that we can help now other women and men who have maybe had a journey like I have had. My name is Daria Monroe, and I'm a truth teller.